Yes, and today we are speaking about having versus experiencing, and in particular, we are the question that we're asking you on the streets is: do you spend cash on material things, or would you rather spend cash on material things or a great experience?
Hi, Chat Spot. My name is Gerald, and what I prefer is whenever I see things, nikipata tu kitu nanunua. That's it. Kitu tu kali.
Hi, Chatspot. My name is Val. I'd rather spend my money on things that I can see because I am a collector and I believe these are things that I can pass down to future generations.
Hi, Chatspot. My name is Betty. In matters experiencing things with money, I think I'll go for both because in those experiences I'll buy things. So I'll use my money to experience things, and in the experience I will use that money to buy things.
Hi, Chatspot babes. My name is Vivian. I'd definitely choose to experience moments because honestly I'd rather be sipping a cocktail at Masai Mara than having, those things that you leave when you're gone.
Hi, Chatspot. I'm Faith Nina, and I'd rather spend my money on memorable stuff because I like to have memories, unlike things that I don't see them. Why should I spend on something that I don't see? All of us love to keep memories. So.
All right, very interesting answers. And in virtual studio with us, we do have financial coach David Cairo. Welcome, Cairo. We cannot hear you.
Unmute your mic kindly.
Kindly
Cairo.
unmute your mic.
Can you hear us?
Good evening to you too. I think it's the volume. Maybe if you can increase the volume.
I hope that's better now.
Okay, yes, that's much better. Right. So, as a financial advisor, what would you advise someone when when it comes to spending money on things or experiences? What is the best way to go?
Thank you very much. First and foremost, let's appreciate that both of these situations are emotional in nature, in the sense that there's some feedback. I'm saying that both of these are emotional in nature. So it's important for us to also be very careful. We cannot have a very clear, demarcation in that sense. However, if you think of However, just understand that if it's an experience, yes, you may not be able to have anything tangible out of it, but then what you can go out of course, of it is an intangible. The only thing is that in this case, it cannot be like, you cannot consider that an asset per se, but it's a personal experience. However, from a financial advisory perspective, you would be advised to look for things, because if it's things and if they are pricey or memorable and worthwhile, you would convert them into assets and quickly convert them into cash as and when. In some situations, you can even have some of those pricey assets as collateral to help you be able to access financing for some business, for example. And so from a finance perspective, you're advised to collect or to have a few of those assets. But then again, it's a very personal decision.
About life in the 21st century, where I think everything is fast-paced when it comes to the consumer-oriented experiences, and even the social media platforms where everyone is just saying buy, watch TV, it's adverts, just buy. But really, what happens to the thrills, the memories, and of course, what happens to those things that you really want to value as maybe a family or my kids? My kids will remember I took them to Samburu, but they will not remember the toy that they wanted so bad, and you use this toy for a minute, but then that that fun goes away. Now you want more and more and more. So what happens to this person who would rather just make memories?
Thank you for that. Now, remember, even the aspect of, for example, an experience, traveling and everything, one of the benefits of that is there's a lot of exposure that individuals would make. So that's why I'm saying it is an asset. It's only that it's an intangible asset, if you get the point. Now, that is slightly different from intellectual property, because intellectual property are intangible assets, but those ones you consider them as assets. And an example of intellectual property is a patent, is copyright. But for a memorable experience, what I would say, number one, let them go there, and in the process, we expect that, they gain exposure, they gain different experiences, they build networks, etc. The second thing, for example, is that possibly through that opportunity and that exposure, they can, as individuals, we can come up with an idea, we can come up with a product, we can come up with a service, something different and distinct that maybe we can, borrow and start working here, that we make sure it can become productive. In other words, I'm saying, if you're going to go for experiences, then don't just have an experience, make sure you exploit. Let me give you an example. On Saturday, I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and they were telling me, for example, when they were, they traveled to South Africa, and when they go to South Africa, they chose to go to the heart of South Africa, according to them, which in this case was Soweto, and not just visit and stay. They spent 2 nights. Now, that experience is memorable to them, but one of the things they did is, why they wanted to do that is to learn the culture of those people and see whether they can import it to Kenya as a business. So for me, that's how you look at it. Yes, go, do your thing, but see what can you do in the process that can help you generate revenue from that. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, and Mr. Cairo, is age a factor when it comes to maybe experience versus now spending? Because at some point you become that you were less, but you needed to experience a certain kind of thing. For instance, kuenda show, nini vitu kama hizo. Will it at some point come to affect you at when you're raising your own children? Because you will be like, I don't need to spend when it comes to this certain kind of experience.
The simple answer to that question is yes, it will affect you, because anyone who doesn't travel out believes the mother is the best cook. But you see, one of the reasons why you want to have those experiences is they gave you a lot of exposure. They build you, they give you exposure, networking, and ideas, really. So it's recommended to I would say, have a balance of both. However, whether it's an experience or whether it's just collecting things and stuff, the question is, are you doing it as an investment? Okay, so even if you're traveling or you're gaining an experience, or you're collecting and purchasing things, consider doing it as an investment. For example, you could buy a watch that you consider very expensive, not so that you keep showing it off, or a chain or anything, but so that for you, you know that as and when I would need some money, I can use this as collateral, gain that money, put it into the business, build a business, pay back the loan, collect my asset. So for me, even if it's an experience, think of it as an investment. And it doesn't matter at what age this person is doing that. However young, even the better. Even the better.
Very much, David, insightful as usual.
Asante sana, you're most welcome. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
All right, guys, we do need to take a short commercial break, but do not go anywhere, because our guests, yes, 2 of them are in studio. So from me and Sedo, it's goodbye. Say goodbye.
Tuachie watu wa Arsenali.
Washinde.
It's time for We Manchester United people.